to take Bayley's title. But what I think they should have did tonight was Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch versus Paige to be crowned the number one contender for the title.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, you involve all 6, well in this case 5, of your top divas, and you have some meaning to it. You have your title match, and then you have your number one contenders match. So at Survivor Series, you can have a Divas Championship that makes sense.
Yep, exactly. I still think we'll have a traditional 4-on-4 match, but at the same time, I think you should still have, if you're trying to push this Divas movement, this women's revolution, whatever you want to call it, I think you should have 2 matches per pay-per-view. And people might be like, Nick, what in God's name are you talking about? I think you should have 2 women's matches per pay-per-view if you really want to push this revolution.
You have to. You have to.
Absolutely.
I mean, they did it the last pay-per-view. They have to do it. They got to continue, but they got to stay away from this really dumb team stuff. Like I understand they're like over factioning over.
And I love, you know me, I love the factions.
But this is too much.
Exactly. I like factions, but each person in the faction should have their own feuds and their own rivals. You shouldn't consistently be doing these 3 versus 3 tag matches.
Right. Which everybody knows eventually what's going to happen is the faction breaks up anyway over jealousy. And you know what? Just get rid of it now. Let Sasha Banks go out on her own, do her thing. You know, I understand that Tamina needs to be carried because she's not physically 100%, and she hasn't been in the ring that much. And even when they have matches, Tamina really probably sees the inside of the ring for about 15 seconds.
And I don't mind her being that enforcer in that stable.
Right.
Every stable doesn't have to have 3 or 4 or 5 competitive wrestlers. You could have somebody who's a mouthpiece, somebody who's a bodyguard. You could have, and then 3 wrestlers on top of that.
Or you could just be the Wyatt family, and every single one of them can kill you.
You know what? I think Luke Harper's supposed to be there tonight. So you know what? I love that stable because now you have 4 of them. And I think once you introduce Sister Abigail, I think that's going to be an absolutely brilliant stable, even more brilliant than it already is.
I agree, and I think that they have another faction that they can do, and they're missing the boat on. And I spoke to you about this. Put a vest and some cargo pants on Adam Rose and reform the Shield.
Yep.
He's got the look.
He has the look, exactly.
I mean, you got Ambrose and Reigns. You got 2 on everybody. 2 on 5, 2 on 3. They're always outnumbered. You need to add that 3rd guy. And Adam Rose, who's withering away into obscurity, you put a vest on him, you put some cargo pants on him. He's already got the dark look, the black hair. I guarantee he'll get sick pop if he comes down walking down the stairs with Roman Reigns.
Yep, I totally agree. I couldn't agree with you more. And then I also think that the New Day should throw an extra member into the New Day too.
You could do that, or I really think eventually Xavier Woods is going to get the boot because I think he's going to cost them the title and he's going to get the boot. Yeah. But they're very over right now, so you got to kind of leave them alone.
Exactly. If you want to segue, we can go right into that match right now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna go. I segued into the Wyatt family, but we'll go into the.
There you go.
Okay, we got the champions, the New Day. Of course, allowed to use the Freebird rule anytime they want. So any 2 of the 3 can defend the titles, and they're taking on the Dudleys.
What I've heard is Xavier Woods might even not be there tonight.
Okay.
Supposedly he got married today, or got married yesterday. I'm not 100% sure. It's just something I heard in passing. Either way, it's so difficult to decide this because New Day had just won the title from PTP, and then the Dudleys came in. I don't know which way this match goes. I said it last month, and I'm going to stick to it that I think the Dudleys win tonight.
I think the Dudleys win as well. We've had this conversation that I think they're going to use them a lot like they use the Old Age Outlaws.
Your favorite tag team of all time.
Of course. They'll win the title. They'll win a couple of crappy matches and then drop it at the next pay-per-view. Maybe not Survivor Series, but maybe the one after.
Maybe Survivor Series. No, you know what? If they win it tonight, or if they win it at Survivor Series, they're going to hold the belt through TLC.
Okay.
Because they're going to have it in a TLC or a tables match or something, and I don't see them losing that type of match.
You know what? I can really see New Day winning a TLC, a tables match. Maybe not so much tables and chairs, but a table match just to kind of stick it to the Dudleys that we beat you at your own game.
Okay, all right. I agree with that. I possibly see them holding on until maybe do a tables match in December at TLC, and then maybe we get to see a TLC match at WrestleMania.
Okay. It's a rumor I've been told. Okay, you don't know this. I didn't elect to bring it up until now. We said that the New Day, they won the belt from Primetime Players.
Yeah.
Originally, from what I was told, is that the Primetime Players weren't supposed to drop the belts to New Day, that they were supposed to drop the belts to the Matadors.
Huh.
And Titus O'Neil put up a humongous, and I mean tremendous, stink about dropping the titles to those white guys. And that's why the New Day are the champions.
I mean, I wouldn't put it in the words that Titus put it, but I happen to think that them dropping the title to the Matadors would have been the stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah, a bad team. But, the Usos are out of the picture, and the Lucha Dragons, no thanks.
I also can't even tell you if the Matadors are heels or face.
I don't even think it matters at this point in the tag team division, because I think I like the way it is. It's just everybody's out for themselves.
Yeah, and I do like that sense of wrestling in general.
Yeah.
I don't like the heel and the face thing. I just like, you know what? I have the Dean Ambrose mindset. If you get in my way, I'm going to knock your teeth.
Right.
And that's
the same thing with Bray Wyatt. It's the same exact thing. If you're standing in the way of something we want to do, you're going to go down.
Exactly. And that's what I like in professional wrestling. And that's why Dean Ambrose is one of the best characters in my mind. And I think it is his whole, it's like the Brian Pillman, Roddy Piper, you don't want to cross me type thing.
Right. Okay. Going into the Wyatt again, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's taking on Roman Reigns in the cell.
Wow. Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is supposed to be the prodigy, supposed to be the next big thing. Not to take Brock Lesnar's name there. They wanted him to win the title at WrestleMania. With Strowman and Harper and Rowan interfere, I just don't see how Reigns, unless they want to Superman him, I'm going Bray Wyatt.
This Braun Strowman ripped the door off the cage.
Dude, he might rip the whole cage down.
Yeah. That guy's chest is it looked like they surgically put a barrel in his chest.
No, they surgically took off 2 of my head and put it on his chest. That's
Does Luke Harper get involved and cost Bray Wyatt the match?
No.
Luke Harper stays with the Wyatts.
Yeah, Luke Harper stays with the Wyatts. Last week there was rumors of why Rowan was thrown in there instead of Harper. The whole Jericho posting the thing of the fans T-shirt that he made for Harper.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that was the reason he wasn't. I heard there was personal reasons why he wasn't on Raw. Right. I think he'll be back tonight. You'll see him walk out with Bray, because I know that because Randy Orton is not competing tonight. Dean Ambrose's match against Harper and Strowman got thrown out. So I see the 3 of them walking down with Bray tonight.
Okay. Let's go. World Championship match in the cage as well. Seth Rollins takes on Demon Kane.
That one is in a cell, or that's not in a cell?
I thought that was in a cell.
I don't think that one is. I think there's only 2 cell matches.
Only 2 cell matches? All right.
Yeah. I'm almost positive that's on a cell.
Then I was misinformed by this article. But all right, who do you got?
I'm still gonna go Seth Rollins. Then I see he pulls some way, or maybe Kane wins by DQ, so corporate Kane keeps his job. Because the rule was Demon Kane had to win the match, not win the title, but win the match.
Yep.
So maybe Demon Kane wins. Demon Kane wins by disqualification, and corporate Kane keeps his job. I see something like that.
Now, here you go. Since you said you think he might win by disqualification, does that mean that the Big Show comes out and knocks out Kane?
I don't think so. I think it's Seth being a snake, Seth hitting him with the chair or the belt or something along those lines. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Triple H comes out, something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say something like Seth hits him with a chair or the belt and gets caught.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Does Seth Rollins hold on to the title until WrestleMania?
Wow, that's so difficult.
Which he would break, he would surpass CM Punk's title reign.
No, he would not, because the title reign for Punk is 343. WrestleMania would only be 370, 365, whatever it happens to be.
You just
to
said
break Punk's record, he would have to go like 2.5 months past that. He would have to go to probably June. If I did the math correct, I think he has to go till approximately June. Because WrestleMania is the beginning of April. That'll be 1 year, 365 days, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
You add in 60 days to that, that'll break Punk's record. So, yeah, about 2 months past that. So, yeah, beginning of June, second week in June would break the record.
Okay. Now,
to answer your question,
yeah.
Does he even go? Does he get to the year mark? It's going to come down to this. I don't see him losing it before Royal Rumble. If he's going to lose it, I either see it at Royal Rumble. There's 3 places I see him losing: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, or just before the year mark. If he holds on to the title until WrestleMania, does he take on Triple H? Maybe we see. Gosh, that's such a difficult question, because I think Rollins can be that guy. He's had the belt for what, 2/3 of a year already, 3/4 of a year already.
Mm-hmm.
It's so difficult to think of him not being champion right now. He's going to face Triple H sooner or later. I just don't know when.
You got to figure it's got to be sooner than later. Triple H is not getting any younger.
Maybe Royal Rumble, because I know Triple H is getting into wrestling shape. Maybe we see Triple H wrestle at Royal Rumble and Mania with declining numbers. I think that's possible.
Okay.
Because I see Seth facing. I see us possibly having a triple threat, or at WrestleMania, possibly Seth and Brock and Roman, maybe just Seth versus Brock. I see Seth facing Brock one way or another at Mania.
Does Sting make an appearance?
Does Sting make an appearance tonight?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna show up tonight. He hasn't been in any specific storyline, unless they're trying to have him on the Go to Hell tour and have him get murdered by Brock Lesnar. I don't know, because segue into that match, I've heard that they're trying to set up Brock's next opponent.
Well, you could, and yes, we'll get into the next match now, which does occur in the cell. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, the final match. You could segue Sting costing Undertaker the match, setting up Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Absolutely. 100% you could segue into that. However, like you and I have said multiple times, do we really want to see 2 dinosaurs in the ring facing each other?
I don't.
Probably not.
I don't, but you get, again, what you said was with the declining numbers,
yes,
we're the minority.
Yes, I completely agree. We are the minority in the fact that we don't want to see those. See those 2 wrestle. There's a lot of people who are living in the mid-90s still, late 90s,
mm-hmm.
and those are the people who want to see Taker versus Sting.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, 15 years ago, even 10 years ago, I would kill to see those 2 wrestle.
Right.
But I don't want to see 2 people who, in 5